So I was born in Tulsa. My dad was a machinist for the Frisco Railroad. Mom was from Woodward, Oklahoma. He was from Jeff City, Missouri. They had 6 kids, and all of us put our own way through college and law school or whatever graduate school we went to, and practiced law in Tulsa. I married Lucia Miller. She was from Buffalo, Oklahoma. Met her at Oklahoma State University, and we have been married for 43 years. We have 4 kids and 10 grandkids. And so why am I running for office? Well, the truth is, number one, the governor asked me to serve in this capacity. Number two, public service is something that I've wanted to do for a while, and now that my kids are out of the house, I could do that. And number three, I don't like where America's going right now, and I don't want to sit around on the sofa with a bag of chips. I want to get in the fight.
The Attorney General has an obligation to represent consumers in utility rate cases before the Corporation Commission. If elected, what would you do to fight against unreasonable or unjust utility rate hike requests?
Every time a rate increase application comes in, we scrutinize that and make sure that all the components are the right components and that the amounts are justified. But remember, my dad was a machinist, so as he was raising 6 kids, I think the most he ever made in a year in our family ever made was $17,000. So I look at how much the rate increase is going to be per month, and I look at it from the standpoint of a son of a blue-collar worker. And so we take it very seriously. We also represent, in addition to the residential ratepayers, the commercial ones and the industrial ones. And so we work with their lawyers to try to make sure that the rate application is justified and is an amount that's reasonable. I will say this, our utility companies have always made reliability one of their goals, and they've been very good at that, but they really have not made price stability one of their key mission elements, and so I've asked them to do that so that we don't get something like what happened in Storm Uri. The third thing is that our office actually came up with the idea of securitizing, that is, spreading out over a longer period of time the cost of Storm Uri to the ratepayers. And what we did by issuing bonds, we saved money because the utility company's plan was to go to private lenders, banks, etc., which would have charged a whole lot more. So we estimate that we saved the ratepayers about $1 billion in financing costs from Storm Uri. And so we're very pleased that the Oklahoma Supreme Court concluded that the securitization law was constitutional and that the process was followed, and that securitization law was our idea. And we're proud that it saved ratepayers a lot of money.
The FBI estimates that older Americans lose more than $3 billion a year to fraudsters, with little chance of restitution because financial scams often go unreported and can be difficult to prosecute. If elected Attorney General, what specific strategies are you considering to combat fraud and protect consumers?
Yeah, so currently I'm your Attorney General, and we have a consumer protection unit that is working hard for you. We know that Americans, no matter how much education we put out there, Americans still get tricked out of about $3 billion a year. And so what I tell people is, do not ever give your financial information or personal information out over the phone. The IRS is not going to call you and say they need payment from you right now. The Social Security Administration is not going to call you and say they need payment right now. Never give in to somebody who says they need payment right now. One of the popular scams is that they'll tell you that one of your grandchildren is in trouble and needs some money from you. And don't fall for that. That's a big trick as well. So never give your Social Security number out to anybody. Never give your bank account information out to anybody. Don't give your birth date out to anybody or your residential address. These are pieces of information that they will put together with other pieces of information that they collect and try to trick you. So do not, if you get a robocall, somebody calling and you answer and it's a machine, just hang up. You don't owe them, you don't have to listen to that call. It's junk, it's a waste of your time. If you have a problem with somebody, report it. Or if you're afraid that you might be owing somebody, call a friend and say, well, and ask if you can call them back, and I'll guarantee you the fraudsters will not give you a number to call back because they're fraudsters. So we're going to prosecute them. Please feel free to call the Attorney General's office and report that theft or that scam to us.
Often, we hear of abuse and neglect in nursing homes and other facilities across the state. While the Attorney General's office does have a Medicaid fraud unit to help investigate these crimes, what additional steps would you take if elected to help prevent abuse and exploitation of nursing home and other long-term care facility residents?
Well, thank you. I'm currently your Attorney General, and so what I can say is that we have been working for you. Our Medicaid fraud unit got a referral on a case of a nursing home worker who stole $150 in cash from one of the residents. That was in Oklahoma. We prosecuted her. She pled guilty. She was given 30 days in jail plus 4 years on probation. She lost her certification and could not work in a long-term care home during the 4-year probationary period. In addition, she had to pay $500 in court costs plus some fines. So it was definitely not a good proposition for her, but we prosecuted her to send a message to all nursing home employees and long-term care employees that we have to take care of our most vulnerable folks, not take advantage of them. And so we are committed to prosecute those crimes and to make sure and protect our elderly and our most vulnerable people.